So Moderna, ticker there is mRNA, they announced on Monday that the very first participants have been dosed in a phase 1 study of what the company calls a next generation COVID-19 vaccine. So Brian, what do you think investors should know about this next generation candidate that Moderna has? And do you think it could be an even better vaccine than their current COVID vaccine that's received authorization, mRNA 1273?
Yeah, so they're calling this one mRNA 1283. So I guess that means it's 10 better than 1273.
Hey, at least it's easy to pronounce.
Yeah, that's true. I think the brand name is like Moderna vaccine or COVID-19 vaccine or something like very simple like that. So kidding aside, there are two main advantages that I saw in the press release to this 1283. One is refrigerator stable rather than having to be stored in a freezer. That'll be helpful for the developing world, and it may cut down on delivery costs in the developed world a little. And then I'm not sure, storage wise, I'm not sure it's that big of a deal. I think most pharmacies are set up to have freezer stable things. So I'm not sure it's mattered that much for stability, but I think maybe for delivery, it could be helpful. And then they're testing it as a single dose instead of requiring a 2-dose regimen like 1273. They are hedging their bets and also testing it as a 2-dose regimen. So they're not sold on the fact that it'll get a single dose, but they're definitely testing to see whether a single dose is enough. And they're also testing it as a booster for people who have already been vaccinated with 1273 to see if it will increase the protection by adding a 3rd dose.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, it's still really early. They just started this phase 1 study. But my take, Brian, is that this could be very good news for Moderna if everything goes well, to potentially have a single dose COVID vaccine that is stable in standard refrigerators. I think that could give them a real competitive advantage going forward beyond the pandemic, don't you think?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Again, it's still early, so investors shouldn't make any assumptions that everything's going to pan out here, but seems to be promising. And I think the question now is going to be, how long will it take? I don't know that we'll still have emergency use authorization programs in place by the time this particular vaccine makes it through clinical testing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to imagine that the FDA is going to be okay with just testing for antibodies and not requiring an actual protection against COVID-19.
Right.
Because it's similar enough to their 1273 that they won't have a problem with just proving that it produces the same level of antibodies and approving it that way.
Yeah. So potentially good news on the way from Moderna there.